Ruthless is just so fitting. 5 fire ruthless, murderer of Portuguese. It's not a bad place to be. Some might even say it's the best place to be. I'm gonna risk splitting up a bit here and hoping that with my units in Evora, it's enough to turn them off of an attack. You folks are going to get our 3 siege wonder, and you're going to get Angevin. And thanks for the fleet basing rights, it was great, but we're going to cancel that. And I'm a little worried about my drooping relations with Castile, especially as I'm busy bodying their ally Portugal, well, their former ally Portugal. Whoa, don't like that. Ooh, but I might not mind that if they're going to go down to the Straits of Gibraltar. Ah, no, they saw me coming. However, I could defend them like so, and get our guys together. Where's he off to there, I wonder? We'll keep a close eye on him. They marched onto those boats, didn't they? Or did they turn back? I wasn't paying that much attention. There they are. There they go. They're trying to go to Tangiers. In fact, they'll be there in December. This is not as advantageous a fight as the previous one. Especially since they have more heavies that could move on in here. Might be better just to leave those units. Yeah, they can't really do anything from there, so I'll let them be. We can always turn around and stomp them, because they're going to be stuck in Fez or Ceuta. Are you planning on getting a border with Castile? Don't know if your strained relationship could handle that. Listen, I am one smooth talker. I'm quite confident that Castile and I can see eye to eye despite me butchering their friend. This is good. Oh, shoot. Well, it will be good if we get there. Tech advantage, baby. Feel the burn. Ah, the English called for a new crusade against us. Probably because they're at war with us. Probably. Okay, he's moving into Fez. He has free range to do that, but he's never going to take it. He doesn't have the units for it. If he brings those guys in, he will have the units for it. I have to ask myself if I want him to be actively sieging down Fez. And the answer is I do, because he's going to be stuck in Fez forever. In fact, I could actively make it forever. Add a bit of extra defensiveness to it. It's going to take him a month and a half to siege down even a tick of that. Also the while, our 3 siege god is going to ravage Portugal. And I'd rather maintain my advantage in our inland seas where we can hold it. Good. Good. The English Navy may arrive. I'm more concerned if the English units arrive, but they seem to have the wrong map, and they think that Madeira is under threat. Stupid English buggers. Holy crap, they got a wall breach? I guess all is as it must be. Ah well, they'll probably be stuck there for a while. Hang on, they must have spent on that. Otherwise, there's no way they would have gotten that with... they don't even get any ticks right now. I will, however, try to prevent more units from coming in here. I will fail. Once Evora is down, we go for Lisboa, and then all's said and all is done. They're going for another breach here, but again, they don't have the units to keep it going. So if they ever give them up, they're scuppered. Knights, Navarre, got everything we can get with Castile, that's good. Well, that's not too bad. They brought a 2 siege general of their own. I think we should go and dismember them. But dismemberment is best done with additional cavalry. Especially in this day and age, I don't want to field any accusations of being racist here, so let's set one thing straight. It's not racism if they're inherently inferior to you. Die, Portugal! Portuguese scum just line up on the wall here. Let's take Lisboa, but we'll grab this adjacent province so that we get better reinforcements coming in. They rolled a 9, but we also had a 9. Time to die. I wonder if I can prevent their movement fast enough. I don't want to take that fight though, so we'll march back with them. There's one bit of luck where I've not been getting the gold mine, and that has been where enemies have been rolling 9 and I have not. But the Portuguese aren't even blessed with good luck. They are only blessed with being part of my glorious nation. Speaking of which, got ourselves a couple of extra units, which is great because I find it very difficult to get more manpower in this campaign. Send a suicide galley? Nah, let's let those Portuguese go back and think about what they've done. It's actually not a good idea. I should definitely chase them down and kill them. I'm surprised they haven't gone for any attack on us over in Italy. But I am also quite delighted with that. Not much else for you guys to do, so get up there. Got myself a couple of barks, we'll just leave them be for now. The Pope's blessed rolls the pinnacle of entertainment, says Sid. Yeah, but Sid, you're a certified monster, so it makes sense that you would find your entertainment in that. Let's make sure that Lisboa continues to crumble whilst we give the chase with Angevin. Oh no. Oh no, no, Castile, it doesn't work that way. It's painful, but I'm going to increase their trust with us using my favors just to get this off my back. There we go. Their desire to keep our alliance is positive now, but I need to do more. In fact, I'm not sure that'll be enough. In the end, that was only 5 reasons. Keeping good relations with them is proving difficult. Let's tell England that we hate their guts. Oh, we can't do that to people that we're at war with? Well, I guess Hungary, we can do it for a laugh. Just gotta keep Castile on our side here. Send a gift, Jake, they're broke. Yeah, my money going to Castile over my dead body. Uh-oh, speaking of dead bodies, Portugal just got military tech 9, so this isn't a shoe-in to win. However, his troops are still pretty broken. I still think it's worth taking the fight, because if we can rout them all, then that's a given. Look at how broken they are. Come on, show how ruthless you are. Those fire phases are working well for us. Treasurer's deed, and it feels like we just bought the guy, so let's get ourselves a new treasurer. And where are they even running to? Where can they even run to? Braganza and Brigera, well, give them a little bit of a chase, but if they go too far, then I'm not sure I can reasonably run after them further. No, they are legging it. Huh. Interesting. No, really, where are they gonna go? They don't have anything else. Oh, are they running all the way down here? That wouldn't work to my benefit at all if they do. They are. Alright, get these sieges done, then go down and deal with them. I did not think they'd take such a long route to Algarve, but there they go. Alright, all done. Done and dusted. Get yourselves over to Evora and then chase them down to death. Hello! Did not expect the English, but the English are here. If the Portuguese link up with the English, that's actually bad news for me. The English also have Tech 9, so that's unpleasant. Again, this is what I feared. They would land from here and cause me troubles back there. However, if we can keep them separated, that shouldn't be too big of a deal. Who's coming in for a fight? Just the Portuguese? I don't mind taking on the Portuguese with the saltiest Scotsman alive. As long as he doesn't get British backup, we're okay. Jake, does Portugal have colonies to steal? I don't intend on stealing colonies. Our ambitions are Venice, Genoa, Valencia, Sevilla, Safi, and Tunis. I have no intention of taking land outside of those trade nodes. I want to have good Carthaginian borders by the end of all this. Okay, despite them having heavies and open sea, oh well, we can use the past tense quite cleanly there. Let's just keep you in Malaya, grab you whenever, slaughter you as well, and then come back to here. Our sheer numbers overwhelm them in the Straits of Gibraltar. No matter how good your boats are, you can't stand up to that many. The English should be stuck there for a while. Let's chase down the Portuguese, because if we kill their armies, then it'll be a lot easier for us to make peace with them. And you know, I'm a reasonable man. I just want to take all of this, which I can't do, and might have severe difficulty doing actually, especially if England won't get out of here. And nobody seems to want Mazab off my back. Hey, but the English don't like this war that much. That's nice. If I deck them a wee bit, which is a technical British phrase, I should be able to kick them out of the war, and then 100% the Portuguese. What are these scumbags up to? I'll bring you guys to the Lisboans just in case. Oh, he's making progress on Tangiers, and I cannot abide by that. Let's take the advantage while we can. You guys have to link up with the Lisboans just to keep them safer. I can actually temporarily use this heavy to fight better here. Okay, that was risky, but they did not get Tangiers. Ooh, boy. What are you planning on taking from the Portuguese? What I have selected thus far, plus this province. It'll give me a very, very solid Iberian holding. Which is what I want. It's what I very want. You're going to get there on the 5th of March, which is fine. Ceuta will hold out. I'm going to have my boats repair up and get over to Tangiers and pop out if necessary. And necessary would be stopping British reinforcements and stopping the British from running away as well. I say British despite it being England, but let's face it, they have much of the Isles. How do the English fight anyway? Worse morale than me, equal discipline to me. Did I ever get a guy I wanted? Maintenance. Ah, that's much better. Let's get the morale guy. Lack of morale has been hurting me for far too long. Lisboa is on its way down. Swell. That's a nice 9, but Angevin doesn't have 5 and fire for nothing. So that's another nice 9. Bloomin' British. Alright, they try to run, but problem with the British is they just can't run very fast. Now this stack is to die. It has no sufficient support, so it should be easy enough to destroy. The Portuguese sadly have got a lot of reinforcements back, and I don't think pulverizing that English stack was enough to force them out of the war. But I think we have it set that they can't do a lot against us right now, which is good news for me. Very good news. It's hardly a good event, thanks for the insignificant amount of dosh. Right, dry lands is an excellent place to fight them. Unfortunately, they just barely get away. Angevin's a lot of things, but not particularly fast, sadly. Lisboa just needs to fall. That water shortage should make it a lot easier. It's very tempting to send out all of our galleys just to expedite the process. But I don't know if the English have a lot of heavies in the region. They have one there. You know what, let's take a chance. We're going to be like Watto and resort to the chance cube. Oh, that slick bugger's going for the mountains. I don't actually want to fight you in the mountains. I want to fight you in the dry lands, but he's on a warpath to meet up with the Portuguese. And that is not good for me. He just keeps being one step ahead of me, that bugger. Alright, I should be able to catch him off if I'm in Rioja. We're cool, right, Castile? Cool as cucumbers. Oh god, he's running all the way to the French. How far the English have fallen. It's a problem though, because I kind of need the English out of this war in order to completely ravage the Portuguese. But to do that right now, I'd have to wait them out for over a year, which should be possible, but I can't actively hurt the English that much. So I guess we're just going to hang tight for a bit. Oh, no, he's coming for Navarra. Good, if we get there just before him, and he doesn't change his mind. Oh, he changed his mind. Alright, well I don't mind taking him on in Vizcaya. We'll just wait for him to get locked in there. Get him killed, and then get back to a useful location. Whew. Sid is saying we need major setbacks, and soon. Major setbacks? You've been given your chance for major setbacks. The worst you could do to me was crush my inflation, which is actually still feeling a bit hurt, but let's... There! It's as if there was never any inflation problem. Just like there was almost no English problem. The English are hitting hard, however, because they have no infantry backing up their cavalry, they're all taking extra damage due to lack of tactics. Sure. Okay, all slaughtered as they should be. Portuguese are coming on in. Now sadly that kind of setback isn't what turns the British into no longer being at war with me. What would they even want? Annul treaties with Castile and money. Are they so simple that they would be bought out? No, they want concessions other than gold. I'll happily give up Mazab. Come on, get off my face. Nobody wants me to let go of Mazab. The only thing they care about is me not being with Castile. Vile Moroccans plundering my dosh again. Nobody gives a hoot about the Abadis, evidently. What a shame. Okay, it's proving to be quite difficult to get Lisboa down, which is unfortunate. The Portuguese have really managed to get their numbers back, and I'm not a fan, personally. He doesn't seem to know what to do, so I'm happy if he just wastes time like that and I can tear down Lisboa. It's all good. But all this time I spend sieging does murder my manpower, so please get it done soon. Good God. More defenders desert, but not enough of them. We still eat very heavy diplomatic reputation hits right now, which I'm not fond of. I think I might get this guy just to help get people calling to my arms if bad things happen, like a Mazabian declaration of war, for example. And I want the Castilian cruel ruler replaced, because cruel stops him from honouring my call to arms. Serfdom increase again for 10 years, or stab hit. Both hit my admin power, but this one gives loads of corruption as well. Let them complain. Not often you'll see me take a stab hit like that. Not so easily, at least. I think I will just state all this up. We already have the cores anyway. We got that from the full integration of Marrakesh. Found a new church might give England some rebellious issues. I can't remember how that thing goes. You know, if the Portuguese just stay doing that for a while, I can wait the English out. Oh, for God's sake, another defender desert. Come now, dice rolls. Save me from myself. I've not been using my diplomats to the best ability at all lately, which is a crying shame. I should be getting claim upon claim so that I can burst down the walls of the Moroccans when truce is up in 09. Our next election is in 07, so it's next year, and that'll be a bad boon. Not game-changingly awful, but nay good, Ken. Could fight them again in the grasslands, but it's no guarantee it'll go as well as it did last time. 10 and 4. I think Angevin deserves another shot at the Portuguese. Now that's the dice roll that I'm looking for. The Portuguese get their 9s, but I counter every last one of them. Speaking of every last one of them, that's the number of Portuguese that are about to die. Some things are just right in the world. Oh! They're running away to Lisboa. No, they're running down here. They may just get another shot at fighting me then. What's the name of this track, please? I always hear it and then forget to check. This is The Byzantine Empire by Andrea Waltoft. It's a CK2 track. Okay, they're really costing me my manpower. But down they all go. Alright, let's celebrate by finally taking this. More defenders desert because the Portuguese are cowards, but now we take their land. And the English still don't want out of the war. How dare they make me waste my time like this? Oh well, there's no Portuguese to worry about unless they somehow build an army on the island and come over. And ooh, I can't take everything that I want. I could say no to Ceuta and go for that. Or I could be a bit more held back on what I take over here. For example, we don't take those, and instead we take all their money. That's quite nice. And it doesn't cheese off everybody quite so much, but I'm certain Castile won't be happy. People are saying there's low FPS, which is strange. I've not dropped any frames and I'm not having any encoding errors. So I'd have a hard time saying it's anything on my end. It's not impossible, but I'm just not seeing it. Okay, down go the Portuguese heavies. We might steal one. We do steal one, I think. I could well be wrong. But let's continue going on a rampage. We came to get down. Get involved. Get everybody stuck in there. Mince them. Remember, we live and die on the seas. Or rather, we live on the seas. The Portuguese die on the seas. They have no navy anymore. They're desperate for peace, but I'm not desperate for peace as long as England's around. It's not just England. They have a subject getting involved as well. So let's bring our navy back. Let's send our light ships to go and help protect our trade in, oh, I don't know, I guess Tunis. But now that we have all this control over Sevilla, we should definitely be collecting there. And we should use our Safi trader, frankly. Because Safi only feeds into Sevilla, and now we're going to have a lot more power in it. Good for us. Maybe take their islands in the Atlantic real quick. There's little incentive for me to do so. I definitely have 100% war score. Well, once England are out of the war, I definitely have that. Alright. Yeah, I just gotta wait for that to run out. And there's little incentive for me to worry about anything during that time. The only roll coming up is a bad one, not a brutal one. Castile are not yet turning on me, although let's keep them very sweet. And I'll keep a wildcard diplomat just in case. There's the massive Portuguese army. When did the war start? This war started in 7th February 1503. I want their money, I want their land. And I'm taking away all their fortifications. So future wars against Portugal, and there will be future wars, should be a lot easier. There's a case to be made for breaking them up with England, but they would probably get that alliance back. Thank you, Castile. You really helped me. Wait, why is Castile allied to France? All the more reason to keep Castile. Like, honestly, I would ditch Poland for Castile. It is, however, election time, and this is time for bad chaos, so let's get one of those up. A lot of people put in ideas for the chaos, and I've integrated them to the list of stuff that I pull from. Some people have to said come up with the really bad ones. I don't know why, but so many people have said, oh, for something bad or brutal, stick all your army onto your boats and circumnavigate the globe. And I'm like, consider where we are in the game. How's that meant to go? I get here and go, oh, we can't do anything. The gameplay kind of gets in the way of what might otherwise be a pretty cool idea. In any case, it's time for bad chaos. And hey, we finally made it into the 16th century as well. Feels like this has been going on for quite some time. Okay, we could lose all of our manpower. We could set our prestige to 0. We could have gold province turns to grain. There's not even enough space for that. There's such a limit on what I can type. Anyway, we could have our gold in Tafilalt turn into grain. I think I have an event that works for that. We could have all of our forts mothballed until the next election, or we could be forced not to use. No, got something better. We could be forced into espionage ideas. Those are our choices. We'll only do one of them, but it's up to you to decide which one to pull. Starts now. The first vote is actually a very important vote because it tends to set the tune of how the vote goes. And immediately I'm being put in my place by that not being the case, because the all forts mothballed is swiftly destroyed because people want either espionage ideas or for the gold in Tafilalt, and it is 4 glorious development of gold. 2 ducats out of that a month, turning into grain. Espionage ideas would be overwriting my glorious plutocratic ideas, and it would be forced. We would not be allowed to change them out. It's a pretty tight 2-horse race between those. Some people want to cripple us long-term by shifting out plutocratic for espionage. Some people want to cripple us short-term by starving us of the gold. But we'll only do one, except in the rare case where it's a tie, in which case we'll do both. Thank goodness it didn't do that just as I said that. Oh my goodness. If you were thinking of voting just once on forced espionage ideas, we could have had both. But we didn't, and I know for a fact that there are at least a couple hundred people watching right now who aren't voting. No, we will be keeping our plutocratic ideas. We will, however, be turning Tafilalt into grain. It's like reverse alchemy. It's pretty bad. How's this gonna work? Event colonial, I think it's 13, and this province is 346. You know, it would be very, very prudent to save before doing this in case I do something mad like turn the whole world into grain, which would be pretty badass. The fur trade dwindles in Tafilalt. As civilization marches on, so does the expansion of our settlement. It seems that the rapid expansion of Tafilalt have driven away the nearby beasts onto the wilder lands, and the woodlands in which we hunt have become scarce for creatures with pelts worth collecting. It would seem that the fur hunting is no longer possible in Tafilalt. I think there's euphemisms going on in this. Regardless, maybe they'll finally settle down on their farms. Goodbye gold, hello grain in Tafilalt, a significant reduction of the money. It was just the only event I could find that would turn gold into grain without modding something in. So there we go. Regardless, it's election time, and this guy ain't too shabby, but my Republican tradition certainly is. So we're going to get ourselves a new bureaucrat. Every time I hear that word, I'm reminded of that song from Futurama. He's got the same stats as the last one. I guess he really wants to be a bureaucrat. And now the guilds are in position. I don't like the guilds having too much, but the goods produced modifier was really good back when I had a gold mine, but I don't anymore. The poll is still on the screen. Yep, I often forget that. Away it goes. And let's carry on. Portugal is murdered. I just need to wait England out. It should only take a year. Then we grab what we can off of them and then consider our next move. Naive enthusiast. Okay, all the more reason we need this guy replaced as soon as possible. So he doesn't have the 3 siege that I'm looking for, or does he? What? What is this? How is such a thing even possible? Okay, we're still cushy with Castile, as we should be. I need a bit more spy network to get more claims on Morocco. Turning gold into grain, that's not worthy of the Carthago Alchemist Guild. Not too popular with the guild now, right? Yeah, it's going down, but they are in position. Oh well, not to worry. We try so hard to make it hard for Jake, and he just does that. I'm afraid my luck is ridiculous. I was born on a lucky star that just forces me to keep winning and winning, even when I don't want to. Could almost make this peace with Portugal, and I could certainly make my peace if it was more modest, but it won't take too long to just force England out of this. And it's not too bad for me to wait, because it lets me restore my units, get my manpower back to a degree, and we'll be fighting Morocco in 2 years anyway, so I imagine we finish this war up, we get coring, and then Morocco is not quite removed from the map, but as close as I can get to that.